Hello, everyone. It's Eric Holmgren, your ambassador at large with the Placentia Chamber of Commerce. And today I am with Allison Martin with the Yorba Linda Water District. How are you doing, Allison?
Hey, I'm wonderful, Eric. Thank you so much for having me today.
It's my pleasure. So tell me, Allison, a little bit about yourself.
Like you said, I'm Allison. I'm the Public Affairs Manager and Public Information Officer for the Yorba Linda Water District. I've been there for a little over 2.5 years now, and I am loving coming back to Placentia and being a part of the community here with the Water District.
Did you grow up in the area?
No, I used to actually work for a local legislator here, and so that's how I got to know everyone and got
Oh,
involved with the
okay.
chamber the first time.
Where do you originally hail from?
I hail from the city of Orange.
City of Orange. Oh, so far
So
distant.
far.
Terribly, terribly distant, yes. Okay, well, cool. And did you go to school to study, to be a public relations person? What's your background?
Yeah, so I actually went to Cal State Fullerton, another wonderful local school, and I studied business with an emphasis in economics. I had no idea what I wanted to do with that degree. I just liked the sound of it, and so that's what I got my degree in.
Okay.
And it was a lot of math and statistics. And then after getting out of college, I realized what I really like to do is talk and communicate and tell stories. And so that's when I went to first go work for a legislator, and then I realized that I liked government work and policy. And so that's what brought me eventually to the Yorba Linda Water District, where I get to talk about policy, I get to serve a local community, but I also get to be a part of the bigger water community and talk about issues that are really important to people here every day.
Right. And I think in the area we've got two water suppliers, right?
Mhm.
We've got Golden State Water,
Correct.
which is a private
Correct.
entity, and then we've got the Yorba Linda Water District,
Correct.
which is a public entity.
Correct. Yorba Linda Water District is a public entity. We are not a private company. We have no shareholders. We do have a board of directors who are directly elected by the people every 2 years in November. We have five of them, and we have a board president who is elected amongst the directors every 2 years, as well as a vice president. And then under the board of directors is our general manager. And so the board of directors sets all of the policy and the direction for where to take the water district. And then the general manager is tasked with enacting whatever goals or policies the board of directors sets. And he does that with the help of all of the staff at the water district. We have five main departments. We have administration, that's the department I fall
Okay.
under, and I'm in public affairs. We also have in that department our records and our business services. Then we also have our finance and customer service department. They're the ones that if you're calling us and talking to someone on the phone to get some help, you're going to be talking to our customer service team, who also helps out our finance team to make sure that we're dotting all of our I's, crossing all of our T's, and making sure that we're within budget. We also have our operations department. They're the ones tasked with making sure that the water is getting to your home safely. And then we're removing the dirty water, the sewer, from your home or businesses as well, and making sure that you don't have to worry about that. And that when you turn on your faucet, there's always water coming out of it. When you flush your toilet, there's always water leaving it.
Very important.
And then
Yes.
we have our engineering department. So the engineering department is in charge of the major capital improvement projects, building infrastructure, the things that we need to maintain in the future planning for the district. And then last, we have our human resources department that makes sure that we have a really wonderful workforce. They're in charge of recruiting and retaining wonderful employees, also keeping everyone safe and managing our risk.
Right. So a lot of things going on over there.
Yes.
So, as you know, with our chamber chats, we're usually talking with folks about some of the challenges that they've been facing. So, for the water district, what's a challenge that you guys have been facing?
So we have a couple of one of our more recent challenges was PFAS and finding PFAS in our groundwater. We can talk about that. And then something that's a regular challenge that everybody probably faces too is budgets. Every single year we have to work on a budget. But first, I'll talk a little bit about PFAS.
Yes, please. What is
What
PFAS?
is PFAS? PFAS, you might have heard about a little bit on the internet or in the news. It is a family of thousands of chemicals. It stands for perfluoroalkyl substances and polyfluoroalkyl substances. Now, this chemical is found in so many common products, anything that's non-stick, oil resistant, or water resistant. So think about your non-stick cooking pans, your reusable food containers, pizza boxes, makeup. All of these things contain PFAS in.
Is it a natural
It is
thing? What
not a
was it?
natural chemical.
Okay.
It is a man-made chemical. So
Okay.
all of the thousands of different PFAS chemicals are man-made, and just a few of the PFAS chemicals are regulated. And this is something that they're finding across the United States. It has gotten into groundwater.
Okay.
And so we found it here in our North Orange County groundwater basin, which our groundwater basin is something we are very proud of. We love to talk about it all the time. We're very fortunate to have it here beneath our feet in Placentia. And so when we found the groundwater, uh, PFAS contamination, we worked with the Orange County Water District and immediately stopped serving water to customers for a short amount of time. And during that time, we did have to offset because we had to import more water than normal from Northern California and the Colorado River. So during that time, people saw a PFAS impact fee on their bills, which
Okay.
is now gone. It's sunset when the plant was built. But we worked with the Orange County Water District to build the plant. They actually paid for the initial build of the plant. So if you come visit us and take a tour, you'll see both the Yorba Linda Water District logo and the Orange County Water District logo on the plant.
And this was a processing plant to filter out this
Yes.
chemical.
So
Okay.
yes, so now we have a processing plant that uses something called ion exchange to remove the PFAS from the water so that we're serving 100% PFAS-free water. And the way we built it is very unique and special. So actually, Placentia is home to the nation's largest ion exchange PFAS water treatment plant.
Oh, wow.
Yes, we're very happy and very proud to be home to the nation's largest PFAS water treatment plant. And because of that, we're able to serve that less expensive groundwater to our customers instead of relying on 100% import water from Northern California or the Colorado River.
Right. And I know obviously the fees for those are going to be higher,
Correct.
particularly with the drought, the Colorado
Right.
River's down, everything else.
Yeah. And so that gets us into budgeting. And so one of the things that we have to do, and it's something that a lot of businesses probably have to do, is we have to do projections. And we have to project how much groundwater we think we're going to use versus how much import water we think we're going to use. Now, the Orange County Water District sets something called a basin pumping percentage, and that can change every year. Usually it's around 77%, which means that 77% of our total water use can be groundwater. And we make sure we hit that number exactly. But our team has years of historical data. And so they use that historical data to project trends for water use in future years. And we use those trends to understand how much we're going to be spending on not just the pumping of the groundwater or the cost of importing water, but how much is it going to cost us for electricity to pump the water to areas of higher elevation?
Right.
How much is it going to cost us to treat the water? How much, all of the things that go into it. We run it through a very transparent process and we have open public meetings that we invite the meetings to come, we invite the public to come to. We want the public to come see our budget process, understand what we do to keep costs as reasonable as possible and how everything passes off to the customers. And so that's actually a process we're going through right now.
Okay.
And so everybody's turning in their projections for the year for the various departments and for the water use that we're seeing in trends. And so that's something that we're working on. And every year that is a kind of a beautiful dance the way it all works. We all come together. We start by looking at projecting whether or not we're going to hit our budget for the current year
Right.
and then looking at the next fiscal year. So our years run from July 1 to the end of June.
Okay.
So our fiscal year starts July 1st. And so we are really excited to be working on that process right now and have our new budget passed this spring by our board of directors and then enact it on the beginning of the next fiscal year.
Okay. So even though you're a public agency,
Yes.
you still have to do budgeting and
Yes.
projecting just like most small businesses do.
Just like most small
Yeah.
businesses do. We don't have an unlimited bank account.
What? What?
And we don't necessarily get to see. People are always asking, don't you take my property tax? Well, there might be a small fee on your property tax that has been added, but we don't get to see the majority of people's property taxes. They don't go to us.
Right. I mean, usually there is a what how are residents feed
Yeah.
for just
Yeah, for water
yeah,
service.
regular water
So we
service.
have a couple of different components that you'll see
Right.
on your bill or potentially on your property taxes, depending upon the way you're billed. But we do have a meter fee. which is based on the size of your meter. So if you have a larger capacity meter, that means the ability to use more water on your property, it's going to be a higher fee than, let's say, the meter fee on an apartment building or an apartment unit. They're going to have a smaller meter fee. And then in addition to that, that's a fixed one. And so that covers all of the fixed costs associated with serving water to a customer, just the fixed costs.
Right.
And so then the next fee we have is our commodity rate. So that is your fee for buying a gallon of water that you're using. And it is only 20 cents, 29 cents, I think, right now for 745 gallons of water.
Wow.
It's not an extremely large fee. You're saving a lot of money by using tap water rather than buying water in the
Sure.
grocery store. And so that is based on the variable cost of what it costs us to serve water to a customer. And so that is going to be covered under all those variable costs are covered in that variable rate.
Right. And so that's
Yeah.
where obviously having this new pumping station
Yes.
is going to save people money on that
It-
portion of their bill because you're able to use more groundwater now instead of imported.
So we don't have to charge more money because we're not 100% import water because we are majority groundwater and we do our best to be majority groundwater. So that keeps bills much more reasonable.
Cool.
Then we have your sewer fee, and that's a fixed fee that everyone pays for the cost of having sewer service. And then there's also for other people.
You don't charge more if you have teenagers or
We don't charge
kids.
more if you have teenagers or pets. There are some commercial properties that have a higher sewer cost
Right.
because they are discharging more into the sewers. But no, homeowners aren't
Okay. Yeah.
home users aren't going to be paying more just because you have a bunch of teenagers.
Okay. Good to know. All right. Before we wrap things up, Allison, is there anything else you'd like to share out there with our friends?
I just wanted to say Yorba Linda Water District is so happy to be here serving everyone in Placentia. It's our home where our headquarters is. And so we're just happy to be a part of this community.
Well, terrific. Well, everybody, if you have the opportunity to be in a spot of the world where Yorba Linda water is served, you're very lucky to have people like Allison and the rest of the crew over there to take care of it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good to catch up with you
Good to
today.
see you too.
Until our next episode, everybody, be well.